In this video, we will discuss the two different schools of Purva Mimamsa, that is Prabhakara and Kumarila school, their similarities and their differences. The first difference between the two schools is the theory of Khyati. Now, Khyati is error in English. The simplest way to understand the concept of error or Khyati is, let's say you are in a marketplace and you come across a person who looks just like Amitabh Bachchan. As you are well aware with the physical appearance of Amitabh Bachchan, the person who's standing in front of you is just as tall as him, his physical appearance is somewhat similar, and he also happens to wear similar clothes like he does. Now, it is quite a possibility that because of all these similarities, the first thought that comes to your mind is, oh, that's Amitabh Bachchan. But it is not the case. So, what you have done here is you have committed an error or khyati. Now, it is important to note that this khyati or this error has been committed in the first place because there was a falsity or there was something erroneous in your cognition. So, cognition here is the key term. There can be no possibility of a khyati or an error in right cognition. Simply put, an error or a khyati will only arise when there is some problem or some falsity with the cognition. Now, Prabhakara theory of Purva Mimamsa accepts the theory of khyati, which is called Akhyati-vada. According to this theory of error, error lies not in the perception but in the lack of appropriate discrimination or differentiation at the memory level. So, in the case of perception of Amitabh Bachchan and the person standing right in front of you, there is a lack of proper discrimination between the perceived input, that is the person who is right in front of you, and the memory of Amitabh Bachchan. Therefore, neither of them is real, but the falsity arises in relating that the remembered image or the remembered appearance of Amitabh Bachchan with the person standing right in front of you. So, Prabhakara says the theory of error, that is Khyati-vada, does not admit of error in the logical sense. This basically means, according to Prabhakara, all knowledge is valid per se and error is only a partial truth. It is partial truth because, going back to the same example, when you saw the similarities that the person who was right in front of you had with Amitabh Bachchan, like he was as tall as the person, his physical appearance was almost the same, there is some partial truth in that too. So, it cannot be wholly regarded as erroneous in nature. In other words, error, according to Prabhakara, is only imperfect knowledge. As a result, error cannot be regarded as misapprehension because it is a non-apprehension. Error can never be regarded as a unitary knowledge. It arises because of the non-discrimination between the two cognitions. So, error is regarded as a commission and not an omission. Another way to understand this theory of error is by taking the example of the perception of silver for nacre or shell. When we see that there is a lack of proper discrimination between the perceived input and the memory of silver that we have in our heads. So, neither of them is unreal, but the falsity arises or the error arises in relating the remembered memory of silver that you have with the current nacre or the shell that is right in front of you. On the other hand, Kumarila accepts the theory of error, which is called Viparita Khyati. According to Viparita Khyati-vada, there is a logical distinction between truth or knowledge and error. So this is extremely the opposite of what we have just understood with the theory of Prabhakara. According to Kumarila, error is a misapprehension and not a non-apprehension. Now he says so because let's take the same example of the silver and the nacre. The silver and the nacre or the shell are both real, and the perception of the brightness of the shell is interpreted as the silver that was actually perceived at some other place and some other time. It is said that this error occurs through some supernormal connection in knowledge, which is also called as alaukika sannikarsha. The mind is somehow connected to the object via the memory. So, the mind is somehow connected to the idea of silver via the memory. So, falsity consists in relating silver with the nacre or the shell where it does not exist, but neither of the two is unreal. Simply put, error is due to the positive wrong synthesis of two elements, the perceived, that is one which is right in front of you, and the remembered, which is in your memory. So, Kumarila's theory of error accepts that error is an omission and not a commission. Error is regarded as a unitary knowledge and not a composition of two imperfect cognitions, which is accepted by Prabhakara's philosophy. The second concept of similarity and difference is the understanding of the concept of self or jiva. Both Kumarila and Prabhakara believe in the plurality of self or the individual souls or jiva. This can also be understood as the concept of manyness of self. It is understood in the way that the entire universe is filled with many souls or many jivas or many individual souls. Every atom of the space is filled with them. So, there are no two individual souls alike in character. They are essentially different from one another. There are different grades amongst them, and they enjoy their bliss after salvation depending on their karmas. Both Kumarila and Prabhakara accept that soul is eternal and infinite substance, which is the substratum of consciousness, and it is the karta, bhokta and the jnata, which means it is the doer, it does things, it is the enjoyer, it enjoys, and it is the knower, it knows. According to Prabhakara, now coming to the difference, consciousness is an accidental quality or attribute of the soul. This means the self is the subject of knowledge according to him. On the other hand, according to Kumarila, consciousness is model change in the self. He says so because he accepts the theory of cognizedness of objects. According to him, self is the object of self-consciousness. Whereas, according to Prabhakara, as we just read, self is the subject of knowledge. The third is the concept of liberation. According to both Kumarila and Prabhakara, liberation means cessation or ending from pain and suffering or freedom from pain and suffering. So, both of them accept the Karmakanda and believe that liberation is possible only via the means of karmas or actions. Now, there are two ways in which Vedas have been understood. The former is called the Karmakanda, the latter is called the Jnanakanda. The Karmakanda believes that the only way for liberation or the cessation of misery and suffering is via the karmas or the actions that a person performs. On the other hand is the Jnanakanda, according to which liberation is only possible via knowledge. It is irrespective of what a person's actions are, unless and until a person has the knowledge, one cannot attain liberation. So, Kumarila and Prabhakara believe in the former, whereas Shankara or the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta believes in the latter, that is Jnanakanda. Now coming to the difference, according to Prabhakara, Vedas are an end in itself. So, showing obedience towards the teachings of the Vedas is also an end in itself. In simpler words, Prabhakara says that the actions or the acts of duties that are mentioned as teachings in the Vedas are to be performed as duty for duty's sake. So, When a person is performing an act which are mentioned in the Vedas, the person is performing them for only the sake of those acts and is not performing them for the desired results which will come or which are the outcome of those acts in the first place. According to him, liberation is not a state of bliss. On the other hand is the philosophy of Kumarila, which believes in psychological hedonism. Psychological hedonism basically believes that the actions that we perform are not for the sake of those actions alone. We basically perform them because we want something out of those actions, or we are inclined towards the outcome or the result or the consequences of that action. In other words, it means actions are the means which we perform in order to realize the end, that is liberation. So Kumarila believes that liberation is a state of bliss, and it is not what Prabhakara believes, that it is not a state of bliss, because the entire concept of Kumarila's philosophy is based on the concept of psychological hedonism. Question 1. According to Dash, liberation is bliss. The correct answer is Kumarila. According to Kumarila, liberation is a state of bliss, whereas according to Prabhakara, liberation is not a state of bliss. It is an act which is done solely for the purpose of the act alone. Question 2. Dash believes in plurality of self. The correct answer is both Prabhakara and Kumarila believe in the plurality or the manyness of self or jivas or individual souls. Question 3. According to Dash, consciousness is model change in the self. The correct answer is Kumarila. According to Kumarila, consciousness is model change in the self, so self is the object of self-consciousness. Question 4. According to Dash, there is a logical difference between knowledge and error. The correct answer is Kumarila. Kumarila, because he accepts the theory of Viparita Khyativada, he says there is a logical distinction between truth or knowledge and error. On the other hand is Prabhakara, according to whom error is also a form of partial truth.